feel so dysregulated today. The only peace that I've found in my body has arrived after a big cry. And I cried actually in a church after I had the most delicious coffee. This feeling of guilt that I hadn't done any work and I hadn't moved my body, and just all of this chatter in my head. And all that chatter just disappears when I just sort of express whatever the fucking emotion is underneath. And emotions are just energy in motion, right? The energy in my body wants me to like move it. And so I'm just like making this shit up as I go along, obviously. Got some like yoga-y bits in there, but mostly I'm just getting some mobility through my spine, I think. I think that's what my body's looking for. Because I've been sitting and I haven't been moving for the last couple of days, doing a lot of driving, stagnant energy that just wants to move. And then my mind goes and finds all the stories that come along with this anxious, dysregulated state. Oh God, I'm not doing enough work, I'm not getting back to my messages, or I haven't checked my emails. Like all of these stories that usually have this energy of anxiety and fear start to come in. And I start to try and add these stories to how I'm feeling to try and make sense of it so I can fix it. I mean, it could be any number of things. To be honest, I had a good cry when I once again opened Instagram and just saw babies dying of starvation, and the intensity of that. And I'm not fucking afraid to say that I feel that so intensely, and I know a lot of you do too. Like, it's so intense. It's so fucked. I don't care what angle you're coming at, it's fucked. I've spoken before about spiritual practices and how they anchor us into like a consistent grounding into the body, open, move the energy and express authentically. And it's something that I've like understood with my mind for a while, and now I'm actually really needing to put the practices into play. And just making it just makes it sacred. You know, to begin with, sometimes it's a little bit like performative, a chalice with frankincense, but the smell of it activates something in my senses that makes it feel instantly sacred and important and brings me into presence. That's why we use incense, because it helps bring us into presence with now, which is reality, which is God, which is love. Having a spiritual practice that is like authentic to you. Like right now, I feel like I'm sort of putting together this hodgepodge of tools. I've got my mat, which I absolutely am in love with. The design of it, which for me is important. I want to be on the mat. Like, it's cool. It's a cool mat. And so I'm like, I just want to be on it anyway. So while I'm on it, might as well get into my hips, might as well like move my hips around. And apparently like tension in the hips is caused by like stuck energy that wants to move. And so as I begin to like mobilize my spine and my hips, and I stretch my body out and my fascia and whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm moving my body, I'm stretching. It doesn't matter what it looks like either. That's the most important bit, I think, that I want to get across. It's like, it doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't have to be like perfect yoga asana poses. Something that I'm taking from yoga, which I don't know anything about yoga. One thing I do know is that you got to breathe. So I'm moving my body and I'm breathing. And it's almost like the more basic it is, the better for me. yoga and meditation and breath work and all these different things, we can like do them individually, but in the end what I really want to do is like just move however my body wants to move. And sometimes I just want to shake the energy out. It just feels good, man. It just feels like, okay, actually this is how I pray, in my body, moving the energy instead of asking something that's outside of me, which there is nothing that's outside of you that isn't inside of you. In fact, you know, like the Christ for forgiveness, for healing, for support is not out there. It's in here. Are you keeping up with what I'm saying? Are you hearing what are you picking up what I'm putting down? Yo, oh, I need a fucking, right, hang on, let me get myself. So, I'm not sharing this to be like, look at me, you should do this, and like, I'm not telling you what to do. This is literally just me sharing my experience, navigating the heavy aspects of being a human being, and making them lighter through shifting them and alchemizing them. And so, yeah, we need support, right? Because this tension has ultimately been created by the ego over long periods of time around fear and separation. So we're working with a nervous system that's maybe dysregulated, or I've got tension in the body, my neck's been really tense recently. And so just at least taking the time and the space to just go, yeah, actually, let's just move my body and feel what's tense. Where am I at? What's my flexibility like? Like, how mobile am I? How agile am I? How much am I allowing myself to move authentically without giving a fuck about what other people think? Oh, it's so cringy, whatever. It feels good. It's such a nice practice to just have a no plan practice, I think. Just get a map, make a space, make it smell nice, and turn your phone off and just like, turn your phone off, film it and put it on the internet. Honestly, like when I film things and I start going into a bit of a process, I turn the camera off and then I go into my process, because that's sacred, that's for me. And then investigate and I inquire about what was that? Where did that come from? After I've felt it, after I've surrendered to the process of the alchemy, the prayer in the body, and the welcoming of energy like prana through breath to expand our system. It smells really nice. I absolutely love it. Yeah, get some energy into the system, like dial it up a little bit. Maybe do some breath, like breath of fire, where you just go and you blast snot all over yourself. But that's a really like powerful way to like increase the electrical charge and the magnetism and the energy that's flowing through your meridians in your body. You can also like, what we're doing is we're bringing our attention into the body, and the body exists in the now moment, right? Our senses. We're using our senses to be in the body and not in our heads, basically. And I actually want to learn more about like EFT and tapping, because part of this practice for me, when I'm feeling dysregulated and I need to shift my emotions, my coping mechanisms aren't working anymore, and I actually have to face the shadow. Something that I find to be really powerful is to say to myself, whilst I'm moving my body and moving this energy, I totally and completely, eternally love, accept, and forgive myself. Because quite often, what's coming up with these stories, they're triggering wounded parts of me that I haven't yet forgiven in myself. Choices that I've made that have hurt other people, you know, and that's like a grieving process, and a process of like being with that and being like, it's okay to feel sad about that. Yeah, that sucked. And I really wish it could have been a different way. And I think so many of us are sort of dragging our past into our present which means we're not fully in the present because we're still anticipating some future to be similar to what we've experienced in the past. And so we actually cut ourselves off from the magic of what's available because we're expecting a repeat of what's happened previously, where I don't want to be in love again because that always ends in tears, you know? And stories like that, where over time I think part of like the healing of it is to not just love, accept and forgive ourselves, but also to be grateful for having had the experience at a time in our lives when we can be aware of and have a relative understanding of why it might have happened, like psychologically. And that can help also to a certain degree with the love, accept and forgive myself part. I choose to believe in a God that is unconditionally loving, accepting, forgiving. All of us are equally innocent in the eyes of God. Any judgment that I bring to myself or other, or any condemnation I bring to myself or another, is ultimately from my ego. If I am to be asking for divine love, acceptance and forgiveness from, maybe for me at the moment, I'm like daily connecting with Christ consciousness, and it's so it makes me feel a bit anxious even to say that, because the story of Jesus Christ, and actually the way that I relate to that story and how I've received it, and the information that I have received over the years, and the more deeply I study into the sort of hidden, veiled aspects of Christ's story, well, Jesus's story, the Christed one, and his relationship with the feminine, with Mary Magdalene, and how the feminine is all interconnected with emotions and feeling the body and being in a body, having a body. The information and the frequencies of our senses are feminine, our emotions are feminine, anything we feel is feminine. The masculine part is the feeler. The experiencer is not the experience. Right? So when we feel our hands rubbing together, what we're feeling is information. We're processing information from the touch sense and the sound at the same time. So when we tune into these senses, and we tune into our body and how we relate to them, it brings us into more awareness of being in a body, which can be quite intense, because a lot of the time I've been trying to not be in my body because I don't agree with what's in here. It's like conflict. It's like, oh, my life's good and I'm meant to be having everything out here is like sparkly and shiny, but in here I'm like so angry and frustrated. Like, why is that? And so there's like this constant tension going on. And now I'm just aware of it and able to process it by coming back to just my body. Just be like, okay, I love, accept and forgive myself. And if I need support, I go, yo, JC, Christ, and of course, and the Holy Spirit. It's like the mystical Christianity, the mystical Christ. This is the Christ that I feel actually very deeply connected to. And actually that's even an understatement in itself, considering the experiences I've had in deep grief recently, with the presence of Christ and Mother Mary as archetypes for my mind to understand the energy of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And so together, bringing the consciousness, the masculine and the feminine into the body of the feminine, that's where the union takes place. The union of the divine masculine and feminine. The union of the yin and yang. And so that's ultimately like the union that is you, those two coming together in whatever shape and form and expression and combination and fluidity between them and none of them and all of it, that's you. And the energy that keeps us going and gives more life and brings more life is electromagnetism between 2 points on a magnet. You have to be in a polarized state to be in form. That's how the third dimension works. Anyway, so when it comes to being present to and honoring your emotions, make it sacred, whatever that looks like and means to you. And it will probably feel a little bit awkward to begin with, or maybe it might feel quite natural. Doesn't matter. If it helps move the dial away from like the synthetic, meaningless, avoidant life of avoiding the difficult emotions, pushing them away and then having them subconsciously run your life anyway, but in a negative way, then we can choose to begin to really take baby steps towards feeling our feelings. And you know what? Baby steps in the beginning. Baby steps are not baby steps in the beginning. It feels like a fucking leap off a ledge every single time. But after a while you learn that when you leap off the ledge, there's actually no bottom. And then after a while you go, and you fucking fly. And then you call in support, whatever that looks like for you, as whatever your divine, masculine, feminine, spiritual, ascended, master, archetypical, mythical landscape of inner and outer worlds comes together. However that looks for you, it's unique, it's yours. Express it. Express, 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 express it. Say it, move it, shake it, feel it, cry it, scream it, rage it. Be with it. Alchemize it. Because, you know, I feel a lot of guilt and have felt a lot of guilt about a lot of different things for a long time, but it doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help anybody for me to feel guilty. And it's also okay that I do feel guilty. It's also okay. It's okay. That's welcome. Feel it. Don't feel guilty for feeling guilty. Like if you feel a bit of guilt, that's just part of being a human being. But it's we don't want to linger there. We don't want it to go unchecked, because ultimately it's like disruptive. Guilt and shame. No more guilt and shame. No more guilt and shame. Innocence. And taking fucking full accountability for my choices and the consequences that fuck things up multiple times. I'm not trying to avoid or bypass or like, avoid taking accountability for the mistakes that I've made, you know. Man, I love to beat myself up, fuck. Like, and even if I pretend to myself that I'm not beating myself up, deep down is a different story. So you know what we do? We totally and completely love, accept and forgive ourselves. That's the prayer. Because then from there, if I love, accept and forgive myself, then I can do the same for others. If I'm condemning others, I'm condemning myself. You see why we need support from Christ to help us forgive other people. It's so heavy. It's so heavy to carry the condemnation of all the darkness. It's so much lighter just to forgive. But the ego doesn't so easily want to give up that blaming. The ego wants to keep blaming and keep them be like, no, they must suffer. It's their fault. There's so much darkness that's being revealed. It's been there for a long time, okay? It's been there for a long time. It's now only being revealed. to not have empathy for like the pain and suffering of the people in the world. Disconnected experience that is not blissful, actually, because I know what bliss feels like. I can't imagine now going back to a time when I could just watch the news and just be like, whoa, that's so far from my experience of reality that I can't actually even connect to it. I didn't have the capacity to like feel into my own pain, let alone the pain of the world. Right now I'm in Cornwall. I've not been to Cornwall for a while, so like part of this for me just now was like actually sitting and praying with the land. I'm like, hey, I haven't been here for like over 10 years. I'm like, hey Cornwall, and actually tune into this part of the land. I never used to do that when I was running around taking photos. Never tuned into gratitude for the beauty of, I'm like, oh, I'm so inspired by Earth. It's like, yeah, your Mother Earth is my muse. Like, just filming this cottage and around her, I'm like, she's so gorgeous, she's so beautiful. I love her like so much. I'm such a nature boy, like such a nature lover. Like, she's my ultimate, and there's so many of us, like so many photographers and people who love to capture and share and document the earth. We're all just big lover boys and girls, you know. We're just lovers that just capturing our most inspiring muse, Mother Earth, Gaia, Mama Pacha. Now I say a fucking prayer. And I'm like, hey, let me just tune into you and not just gallivant around you and all over you and on you and just be like, whoa, so beautiful, so cool, but actually just be like, hey, yeah, just tuning in. And who fucking knows if it does anything? I don't know, but it makes me feel calm and it tunes my nervous system into the earth. And for me, excuse me. Oh, how dare you? I'm just trying to film something here, bro. I don't know what your problem is. Well, that's just rude, isn't it? Anyway, like I was saying, who knows if it does anything? But for me, it does something. I can feel that it's doing something because it makes me calm and it brings me into presence. And presence is reality, it's now, it's God, it's love, and it's where we can connect to our support network around us, like JC, Mother Mary, and whoever else, your angels, your guides, your ancestors. Like, it's all energy. So whatever archetypes and visions for the energies that you're feeling in your experience, in your body, and that you're connecting to, like non-physically, I don't think it really matters too much like how we categorize or try to understand or conceptualize, because we know that it's all just concepts anyway. We have to conceptualize it. Might as well call it angel energy, might as well call it ancestors, might as well call it Mother Earth. Like, it's all energy. So I'm gonna go to bed soon and get an early night. Thank you for watching this video. I love you very much. Have the most wonderful day. Peace.